Yeah, obviously, huge game, huge night, disappointing outcome. Positive for me, like, I thought our defense really played their tails off. We gave that one drive to start the second half, which we didn't play good football in that drive. And okay, well, that's one drive the whole game. We got 3 turnovers. We had 2 in the first half when it was 0-0. We knew going in it was, to win is we low scoring tight. All the big games so far in this league have been low scoring and tight. You look, Western beat Toledo 14-13. We beat Western 26-17. We lose to Northern or OU 24-20. OU loses to Western in I don't know what it was, 17-14 to whatever low. So you knew going in, it's like, okay, it's going to be, we got to win this thing 17-14, 21-17, 14-10. And again, it's 0-0. Offensively, first half, we had opportunities we didn't execute. Like there's plays on tape there for big plays, and we didn't get it done. We didn't get it done from an execution standpoint. Second half, their defense took it to our offense pretty good. There wasn't plays to be there that we got overwhelmed. We couldn't run, we couldn't throw. But first half, there was stuff that if we just execute the play, we got guys open, and there's opportunities for some big chunk plays. That, again, that game you didn't need a bunch, you just need 1 or 2. We almost had Cam on the first drive that, we could have scored on the opening kickoff. We had 2 guys to block one guy, and they both decided not to block him, and we got tackled at the 40 as opposed to we had another guy for the kicker. If we block that guy, we're walking in the end zone. We're set, and again, you didn't need many scores if our defense played the way they did, and they did play that way, And then the 4th down, again, should have just punted it, not gave them a short field for a 46-yard drive. But we really thought we'd get the first down, and then we'd have the ball at midfield, and we'd have a chance to even 3 points that game at that point was huge. We blocked it up good. Our back should have hit it backside, hit it, just was too fast, really. Didn't allow it to develop. We had a good push. We should have got 3 or 4 or 5 yards. We ended up not getting any. Again, poor execution. If you look at the first half offensively, just us not executing. And then right before the half, we get the ball. We're punting it back with 30 seconds left, and we don't spread the net. We don't cover the punt, and they punch it. All of a sudden, you're down 14-0 in a game that you don't want to be down 2 scores. And then second half, we got nothing going offensively. They dominated us the whole second half. Credit their defense, number 3 in the country, going in behind Ohio State and Iowa, and we knew they were good. We knew we had to get some big plays. We did enough in the run game to have an existence in the run game. And if we could have hit a couple big plays. And that defense continued to play well. Like I said, the first drive of the second half was not good, and our net, then they went back. So really feel good about the way they played. Don't feel anything good about what we did on offense. Starts and ends with me. And then, ST was fine. We should have had a game breaker, and we had it. We had good returns all night. But the one, we have the one poor punt coverage, and it, was a big play in the game. So credit to them. They got a good football team. They out-execute us. And they got a leg up on us now, which stinks with 2 weeks to go.
All right, turn it over for questions.
Coach, I felt Henry Hessen was kind of in duress most of the game, 6 sacks. Could that have changed something if the offensive line gave him a little bit of help?
Yeah, again, it was a tale of 2 halves for me. Like I said, I don't think Henry executed great in the first half, like the rest of our offense. It's not one guy when execution's bad, but I thought he was part of. There was opportunities in the first half. We didn't. Second half, we were overwhelmed. We didn't block good enough. We didn't do anything good enough. We didn't run routes good enough. We were chasing it. We're down, and you don't want to be down against that defense. And they got after us pretty good. So I don't think he had much of a chance to do anything in the second half. He fought his tail off for us and scrambled around, made a couple plays, and made some tough throws. So. I have no issues. He fought to the end. And like I said, like you said, didn't have much of a chance. He was under heavy duress. First half, when the game was tight, they weren't pinning the ears back and getting after us. They were playing their base defense. And again, he was part of our whole offense there's a couple plays on him, couple plays on the O-line, couple plays on the receivers, couple plays on the running backs. There was more to be had in the first half in a tight, low-scoring game. That if you get a score and you're up 7-0 or up 10-7 at half, now you don't get that onslaught in the second half. When it got to be 21, they got to be 24. Now they're pitting, and then like I said, at that point he really competed his tail off for us and did the best he could. And, gave us a chance. We moved it down, got a field goal, but he did not have much of a chance in the second half.
Oh, are we going to see DeQuan Finn the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, good question. Daquan's moving on. We had 11 good months with him. Daquan did some awesome things. He's an awesome young man. We spent a lot of time together. At this point, he's going to move on. He's going to get ready for. He's got shots to play at the next level. He's going to train and get ready to go do that. And we appreciate what he did for us, and we wish him best. So we will not see him the rest of the year.
So Henry will be the guy.
Yeah. No, we're moving forward with the guys we got. So, yes.
You got 2 more games on the schedule here, and as far as conference standing goes, some things are out of your control, but what is your focus on these last 2 games here?
Yeah, like always, we're focused on trying to play our best football and beat Buffalo. And we're not dead. You know, we're not in good shape because we don't hold the tiebreakers over some teams that I think, you know, probably won't lose. But, you know, in this league, like there's already been some games that teams have beaten teams that was very unexpected. So you still got your fingers crossed. You get to 6-2. You get to 6-2, you're going to be tied. You know, now what happens the next couple of weeks? OU's got to go to Buffalo, you know. That's like I said, that's never an easy trip for anyone, and Buffalo's part of that mix. So Toledo doesn't have as tough a road at this point, but you never know how this goes, especially in this league, but you never know anyway. So our goes, try to get to Buffalo, try to get to 5-2. It's a really tough place. Focus on that. Don't worry about, you know, the big picture. We try never to worry about the big picture, but you do, you know. And then you come home and try to beat Ball State, and then you know you're at least in a tie. Now, you may not get the tiebreaker, and it's not, like you said, it's not in our control anymore, which stinks. But let's get there, and then let's see if some point something goes our way, and then you're right back where you want to be. So we're not dead by any stretch. Like I said, the worst we're going to be is we're tied with somebody, and it's going to come to a tiebreaker. There's a log jam at 2 losses, and it's been crazy up till now, and a lot of close games, and so it's late in the year injuries, and there's whole like we're not the only one dealing with a lot of people, you know, that are beat up and battered, and so it's at week 11, everybody's going through it, so you never know who might be out for somebody that might be a problem. So our thing is just try to regroup. We're in a, not that Ball State's an easy game. Ball State beat OU, all right, but we have a little break. Like we're playing Wednesday to Saturday, so there's at least a little time to get freshened up. Like we've been on this roll, you know, Western, OU, Toledo, at Buffalo, two roadies, 2 homes, and really, obviously, all teams, those 4 are all dead in the middle of this thing, and then at least you get a little time to recover before you got to try to play Ball State at home. So we, like a lot of people, we are beat up mentally, we're beat up physically, and it's that time of year. It's where we knew this was, you know, and like I said, no one else is going through that in this league but us. There's no one else that's had this run, you know, and it's been knockdown, drag out, knockdown, drag out, knockdown, drag. I know the score wasn't necessarily close, but that was a crazy physical game, and our kids fought to the end, and their kids fought to the end, and it wasn't like anybody's putting their subs in, and like it was. We've had 3 conference championship games in 3 weeks, and we got a 4th conference championship game coming up in 4 weeks, and again, just everybody goes through it. We're going through a little bit more because the scheduling's been just the way it played out. But again, why we come here to play in these big games. Like our kids are still excited. Like we're tied with Buffalo. Somebody's going to be out of it after this week. This is a winner die. I mean, yes, everything's not in our control, but they're fighting. They get their last 2. They're sitting right there trying to get in. We win our last 2. We're sitting right there. So that there's still plenty at stake for us, and we try not to focus on that stuff anyways, but we're going to try to play our best football and go win a hard road game.
During the 5-game winning streak there, what was really working was when you were able to leverage field position, playing from either in front or at least, you know, not much of much behind. How important is that going to be over these last couple games, especially if Hank is at quarterback?
Yeah, definitely. It's always important when you play even games. Like inches matter, yards matter. You go to, you know, you talk about the fight, like you go to the Western game, we were down most of the game. We weren't ahead, but we were within 1 score. And then we found a way in the 4th quarter from 17-9 to, you know, score 17 points and hold, like, so that we weren't ahead. And that, you know, it was nice early in the year. We might have been better than some teams. We were playing from ahead. Yeah, that's wonderful. But then you go play Western, we're not playing from ahead anymore. Then you go play OU, we're down in the fourth quarter again. We score, we take a lead. They return a kick for a touchdown. We take a lead, you know. The OU is the one that kills us because with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game, we got them 3rd and 16, and we have a lead. And we pour through there, and we're going to sack them, and we get a face mask penalty. And it's going to be 4th and 24. And good chance on 4th and 24, you stop them and win the game, you know. And then, so we weren't in, you know, the 4-game winning streak. Yeah, we played from leads. Those 2 games, we came from behind the fourth quarter, and that's what you have to do, you know. We needed Toledo's game to be the same way, and it should have been the same way if we do what we're capable of doing. We don't give up a punt return. We get a 4th and 1. We could be up 3-0 at half, and it's just, I don't know what the outcome is, but it could come down to that last fourth quarter possessions. They made some plays at the end of the first half, a huge stop and then a huge punt return, and they got a 14-0 lead, and then we're chasing it. So we got it. We don't want to be chasing it for sure. We got to, and if we play from a lead, playing from leads is wonderful, but we want to keep it in that 1-score game, and just like you alluded to, play field position, and you know, our return teams got us some really good field position in Toledo until we had that one blunder, and that was a huge play in the game, you know. So we got to play OD and special teams and play complementary football, and that's what we always try to play.
This is the time of year when it really tests your depth, and you look in there and you see some younger, less experienced guys on that depth chart, but you're going to have to rely on them in some cases, right?
Yeah, we've been for weeks. Like even during the 5-game winning streak, we've played more young guys, and I was telling the staff, you know, like sometimes I get frustrated. These kids, like, I even mentioned immaturity during the year multiple times. I'm like, are we really that, or are we just playing more redshirt freshmen than we've ever played? Like usually those guys, like they're probably no different, but they're not backups. They're actually rotational guys, and they're playing on ST. And just the way college football is going, and again, we had 28 seniors, so I don't think there'll be that mass turnover every time. I don't know that I'll ever have 28 seniors again. We're going to have a lot more returners next year than we did this year. Obviously, we had no returners this year. So it's just weird, like, are we really that much? Are we just playing younger guys that used to be backups or maybe even on scout team, and like by the time they grow up, they're playing? Well, now the beauty of college football now, young guys can play. Like not just at Miami, I'm saying everybody's roster is young and new, and so it's just there is more inconsistencies, and that's why you look at college football. Who's like I predict for a year, no one's going to go undefeated. I know that was a kind of a far-fetched prediction, but it's pretty close to like everybody's got either inexperienced young guys or inexperienced new guys, like transfers that are inexperienced within how you do it. So I just think it's a norm that we're going to have to deal with. And then, as you allude to, then you go to week 11, well, everybody deals with the attrition, so now it's even more kids that haven't played that. So our kids have done a good job. Our coaches have done a good job. You know, we played 2 weeks without Cy Walters. We beat Western without Cy Walters. We almost beat OU without Cy Walters. Like that would have been, and we had new young guys stepping in. Eli Koppas is making plays that, you know, if Cy's playing, he's not even in there, you know. And so we've already, you know, we went through it. We're a mash unit at a lot of spots on our, you know. There's some positions we don't have any healthy guys, and we're just rotating non-healthy guys because they can all play some. There's no way any of them could play 40 snaps, you know. So they're all playing 10, 15 snaps, and we're kind of taking inventories again. That's at multiple positions, but I think that's just, you know, that's this time of year. And then for us, the scheduling, that's what hurts. Like you have this schedule this time of year. Well, that Western game was, neither team came out of that game feeling. I was watching the broadcast of the OU Western game, and they're talking about like the OU coach very concerned with can they bounce back after that Miami game, because one, it was such a huge game. It's a rivalry game. And it was so, you know, it was such a physical knockdown to the last minute win. You know, and I was thinking, well, we've already had Western and OU, and now I got Toledo. Like, they're just talking about 1 week, can you play back-to-back games at that high level? And they did. They played. I know they lost, but they played a really good game. It was, I mean, that was a fight right to the last drive. Like, it was like all these games are, you know. But that was like, they're telling me, they're like, just so hard to go back-to-back to have huge win after, you know, but that's what it takes, you know. So it's been good, but we got more young guys going to have to step up these last 2 weeks. There'll be some guys that haven't played much that are going to get a chance to play, so it'll be exciting.
Coach, I think an interesting storyline, Joe Bowen on the other staff was part of your staff. Just what are some challenges when somebody spent time with you and now he's going to be going up
Yeah.
against your offense?
Be 2 of the last 4 weeks that OU's coordinator, Coach Hauser, does a great job at OU and did a great job for me here for 8 years. And Joe Bowen was a student assist for me. He GA'd for me, hired him full-time, first full-time job with me. Now he's a coordinator at Buffalo. And again, one, cool, like saw Coach Hauser before their game, you know. We'll see Joe before the game one. It's like, okay, guys that have helped me in my career, you know. I know they're not with me anymore, but they helped me have success. Like both those guys were part of conference championships at Miami and helped Miami in their career, you know. So like one, it's just it's cool, and then you're proud of them, and you're proud of like when your coaches move on and they don't do good. That's not awesome, you know. Like OU's really good on defense. Buffalo's really good on D. Your coaches move on and they do a good job. Like makes you feel good. Like not that I can take credit for it, but at least I didn't derail their career, right? I wasn't bad for them, you know. And then I can't remember his name, but their D-line coach. Please get somebody look up there. He's one of my favorite people in the world too. But Grand Vaught guy, he GA'd for us. Great coach, great person. They have another defensive assistant, Spence, who was with us last year. I mean, they know all our signals. They know, they've been in all the game plans with us. They know exactly how we think. You know what I mean? They, you know, now we know them a little bit, but we don't know them because they weren't doing it here. You know, now they're doing it their way, you know, so they got their own little spin. But it's cool and it makes you proud. And they're, you know, I still talk to Joe. I mean, like off season, I still, you know, I had a good day at the craps table this summer in July, and the first guy I called, you know, it's like I called my wife. She was happy because I didn't lose money, but she's not a craps player. So I couldn't, like, I had a good story I want to share with somebody that'd be excited, you know. My wife was just excited that I didn't lose money at the casino, you know. So I'm like, okay, that didn't go as well as I hoped, because this is a great story. She didn't even understand what the heck I was talking about. I'm talking about this guy did this and rolled and whatever. She's just like, yeah, get off the phone, you know. So I immediately called Joe, because Joe's my guy that'll roll some dice with me, you know. So because I knew he'd appreciate it, you know. And then I called RJ with the Saints, you know, and I called Corey Brown. Those are 3 people I know that actually know what craps is, you know. And if you don't know what craps is, the story wasn't that great. You're like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about, Coach, but you seem excited, you know. So, but if you know what the game is and how rare what happened, then you're like, wow, that's unbelievable. So like, it's awesome. Now, this week I just want to beat his brains in, you know. I want to have success against Buffalo, and he wants to do the same. And harder for Joe. This is his alma mater, you know. Buffalo's not my alma mater, so I got nothing. I got no issues other than, you know. So it'll be great to see those guys, and they're all great people first, and tremendous coaches. But like, why I love them and why they're on my staff is because they're great people, like great people, guys that you want part of your group, part of your family. And it's not great that a bunch of assistants around the league used to be on my staff but it's also awesome, you know. And I've been at Miami for 12 years. That's also awesome. So like. But yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be great to see him. And then it'll be, once the game starts, you won't even forget who's standing, you know. And then after the game, you'll see him. And so, but it will be great to see him. And you know, Joe had a baby this summer, and you know, talked to him and Colette, and you know, like yes, you become enemies on the field, but not enemies in life. Like these are people that I think the world of, and have helped me, like poured their heart and soul into helping me. And these guys helped me at Miami, so it's even here, you know. So I don't. And always excited when they get opportunities to move on. And like I always say, the coaches portal's been longer than the player portal. Like everybody goes crazy about the player portal. I said, coaches have success, they get monetary gains and move up levels, or you know, sometimes it's go from a position coach to a coordinator, and that's part of it. Like that's what you want. Yeah, I hope. You know, I hope you're always in a good program where they want your players and they want your coaches. You know, and yes, it stinks when they leave, and again, it more stinks from a friendship. You know. We can hire another good coach, and we're going to hire another good person, but you miss them being around and seeing their face every day. That's what this is all about. So,
Everybody good? All right. Appreciate it, Coach.
Isaiah Dunning, get that on there, because again, Isaiah's going to be mad at me, but it's not like I can't think of my own player's name. Like I'll go out to practice day and I'll look at Hank and can't remember what Hank's name is. I'm at that point in life that I forget people's names. Now I can tell you everything about them, where they played, but Isaiah Dunning was a defensive GA for us, and helped us win a championship here, and you know, he's an awesome, great coach. But again, just like Joe, incredible person, like a guy you want in your foxhole, guy you want around your family. Still, like Isaiah still texts Max. You know, Isaiah and Max have a good relationship. Like it's more like, for me, it's way more than, you know, oh, I got to respect Isaiah's a great D-line coach. He is a great D-line coach. You know, he's still, Max like, I talked to Zeke. We call him Zeke. You know, like Zeke texts me. I'm like, yeah, tell him I said hello. You know, it's just those are the type of people you want. And I've been fortunate enough to hire. You know them all. Like, they're fantastic human beings, and that's probably what I'm proudest as a head coach, is that I bring in good people into Miami. You know, and these guys leave me, and they're still good people. You don't hate them because they leave you. So.